Hello, I am Kerem Ermacı. I am a student at the Molecular Biology and Genetics Department in Bilkent, and my experiment for Physics 101 is calculating the spring constant of a spring using Hooke's law and period of oscillation.
The equations I used in the experiment are as shown.
Firstly, I have picked 5 different masses according to the extensions of my spring. I have noticed that if I put less than 20 grams, my spring does not extend enough for me to make a clear observation. And if I put more than 200 grams, then the extension is too high for me to observe the period of oscillation. Okay, so since my experiment is calculating the spring constant of the spring by putting 5 different masses, I am performing this by 2 methods. Firstly, I am putting my mass in the spring and then leaving it to oscillation like this. And by this video that you have seen, I will slow motion it and observe the period of oscillation. And then secondly, apart from the oscillation period information, I am using the information of extension. By observing the extension, I am calculating the spring constant once again, and I am performing this by doing these methods to 5 different masses and calculating the spring constant each time.
To summarize the conclusion of my experiment, the spring constant of a spring was calculated by 2 methods for 5 objects. The first by extension and the second by period. When the mass of the object increased, the extension and the period of oscillation also increased as expected thanks to Hooke's law and the period of oscillation formula. The work done by spring is also increased when the masses increase. And the possible sources of error of my experiment might be due to the shape of the string, lack of precision with the human eye and the ruler, and the limit of the speed of the performer, or the damage in the spring or temperature-related contraction or expansion, and energy loss to friction. The most interesting finding of my experiment is that since by period the spring constant was calculated according to a slow motion video, this method was much more precise and the results were closer together compared to the extension calculations.